What's up, YouTube? Southern Comic Geek coming to you with a mail call, as per the title says, including a signature from this comic book legend. If you want to see what I picked up today, stay tuned for the video. Now, before I get into showing all of this comic book goodness, go ahead and smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Hit the subscribe button and the bell notification if you haven't already, so that when videos like this drop ever so randomly, you are one of the first people to know and can make the conscious decision as to whether or not to watch it now or later. As long as you watch it, we appreciate you. If you're new to the channel, thank you. If you're returning to the channel, thank you. In either case, appreciate you taking the time to support the channel by watching. Also want to shout out the supporters of the channel that are YouTube members and Patreon members. So check out those names right there. Most of them have their own content that they drop. You can check them out as well. Also visit gocollect.com for all of your collecting questions. So got a plethora, that's a big word, plethora of good comic books in from various members of the community. And so let's check it out. First off, Peter Parker. Parker, you're fired. That's right, Peter Parker, who usually has an auction on his channel on Tuesday nights. So go check him out. I had a running box with him. It was really only one book. And then he had posted up this other book, and I was kind of in a mood in buying those, which I'll explain in a minute. And so I said, let's go ahead and buy that and just go ahead and ship it. So first off, this is the book that I've been having in there is Dino Riders, the short-lived toy line and cartoon Dino Riders. If you've seen some of my other recent videos, you'll see that I got an issue 3 here lately. So I now have all 3 of the mini series of Dino Riders. This is Don Perlin on the art on this particular cover. So he threw up a Tales to Astonish 67. I have a bunch of Tales to Astonish headed my way from the Geek Aficionado. And so Tales of Astonish was what the Incredible Hulk title became after issue 6 all the way through issue 100, I believe, and then it skipped over to 101 or 102. And so they would go, it was Giant Man and him for a little while, then it was him and Submariner, but this was issue 67, picked up from Peter Parker Comics. Got these from a guy whose name is escaping me right now, but I have bought from frequently over on Instagram. This is Elf Thing #1, kind of keeping with the Hulk thing, and this is the reason why I got this, was because this is an homage to Incredible Hulk #1. Parody as you like it. There you go. There you go. X-Force 100, some Rob Liefeld goodness right there. I didn't even know there was an extra cover to this because back then they really didn't do an awful lot of variant covers. Even after Rob Liefeld had left the book, they would often call him back to do these covers for the characters that he had created or made famous in that X-Force line. Batman the Dark Knight, David Finch goodness for sure. Not a series that I collect. I got the first several issues. Did not have this one. Of course, this is an homage to the Batman in Nightfall, where Bane breaks his back originally. So basically, I got it for that reason. Also picked up Uncanny X-Men 282. Newsstand. First print, but it's also signed by Willis Bertasio, which is the real reason that I got it. I already have, I don't remember if I have a newsstand and a direct. I think I only had a direct, but I also have a second print. So I got this one mainly for the SIG, but the fact that it was a newsstand and in good shape, an added bonus. Also picked up from them X-Force number 15. This is the Clayton Crane variant. So pretty cool. Cable looking pretty wicked. Strife looking pretty wicked. This is Messiah War. And then we got X-Force number 6 with Bastion on the front cover. This is another Clayton Crane cover, but I believe there is a version of this that is called the Blood variant, which Crane did several in this run of X-Force that he did, usually off like Wolverines or X-23's claws, but this one's not the Blood variant, but there is one of this issue. X-Men Red, the annual number 1, some Art Adams goodness. And if you notice, Art Adams signed, looks like in July of 2019, this book. So that was pretty cool. Didn't have an Art Adams signature. And that was the main reason I picked that up. Now, I picked these up from Robot Monster Island. He doesn't really put out any content himself, but he is on the Instagrams. And if you check him out, he's across this spectrum of the comic community, selling on various channels, and he usually has a beanie on and a beer. So you can check him out. And he mentioned in an auction one night that he had some early Conan. As you might know, I'm collecting the early Conan, not really like hard after it, kind of soft collecting, if you will. And he had some that were in really good shape, so decided to pick the 3 that he had up. This is Conan the Barbarian number 5, The Claws of the Tigress. So 15-cent goodie right there. Also got Conan number 8, The Keepers of the Crypt. And again, just at, what is it, 24, 26, that Barry Windsor Smith went to on Conan. I've got the big ones. I've got one. I've got the first cameo and first full appearance of Red Sonja. The first appearance of Cooling Gath is probably the big one that I'm lacking out of those 20-something issues. Before there was a Conan, there was a Cole the Conqueror. Issue number 10, 25-cent goodie. Then I picked up these from the Lady Fantastic, a.k.a. Cairo Serb, if you're over on Instagram. Lady Fantastic sells on various auctions, has her own show with Rob Worth and the like, but she usually sells on this channel on Saturdays at 1 p.m. with the Saturday Morning Cartoon Crew, which she's part of. So these are books that I got from her. And she had already actually got some other books from her, and I didn't realize she had already packed them up. And so she messaged me and said, "Hey, I sent your box off, but it didn't have those books you just bought." So, which is fine. I'm sure I'll find something else. And this was one of those lots that I really wasn't, to be honest with you, that interested in. I only picked it up because it was too cheap for me to let it pass. And so that was what I did. This is Avengers Legacy number 490 or 75. Got a little Hulk, She-Hulk action. I have to check that out, see if that's something I want to hang on to or let go of. Don't think it's any big key or anything, but if you know, let me know in the comments down below. Avengers versus X-Men, the second printing variant of issue 0. So that's kind of cool. Also on top of that is the fact that it is signed right there and by Jason Aaron. So didn't have a Jason Aaron signature, so that was an added bonus. Not one I was going after, but the fact that you got the 2 mutants on the front cover, got it on the cheap, couldn't pass it up. Also had Avengers Crossing, chromium goodness. This is Mike Diodato on the art there. I'm sure it is a wraparound cover, so not something I plan on keeping. And it had Avengers number 1, the Clayton Crane homage of sorts to the original Avengers. Has kind of the trade dress and the like of that. Looks like a Midtown Comics exclusive. Really cool. I'm a Clayton Crane fan, but don't plan on holding on to it. Then I got Young Avengers, Avengers the Children's Crusade. This is a one-shot looks like Alan Davis on the art. Yeah, that's who it is. And so be one that I sell. So like I said, it was these 5 books on the cheap. Got Jason Aaron Sig on here, and that Clayton Crane cover. So I was like, yeah, I just can't let it go for that cheap now. So I had to pick that up from her. Now, last but certainly not least, what I alluded to in the description is this. So this is from Ben Hunters. They used to go by Don't Forget About His podcast. And I think he kind of separated that from his selling and created the Ben Hunter account. But he had these 2 books up, pulled the trigger on them. And so the first one is the Hulk magazine, issue 24. Of course, this is a Lou Ferrigno painting or of Lou Ferrigno. The Hulk magazine back in the day had a lot of cool stuff, stories, original stories, and the like in here. And it also a lot of times had Moon Knight in here. And so I don't see that in this. Yeah, there he is. Yep, Moon Knight. So there's Moon Knight. And see, but I don't think this Moon Knight, or was that just an advertisement for Moon Knight? Yeah, it's just on sale, newsstands everywhere, 50 cents worth it. So this is somebody else, but that's not Moon Knight there. So pretty cool painted cover of Lou Ferrigno, image of the Hulk. It also has a thing in here talking about Lou Ferrigno getting painted up and the like for Hulk, Not Easy Being Green. Of course, that's a deal to Kermit the Frog there. And then it's got a story in the front part of this. Art by Gene Colan. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, so these are pretty cool to get. And I think the next time I see Lou Ferrigno, I'm going to get him to sign that. I'd seen somebody else sign it, and I had planned on getting, when I got Lou Ferrigno's signature a couple years ago, I only got it on that Hulk hand because I couldn't find a pop that was not a Mark Ruffalo type Hulk. And I should have got that is what I should have got. That's a Joe Jusko cover too. So don't want to go without giving Joe Jusko his due. But I'll probably pay the money and just get Lou to sign that one and have another Lou Ferrigno signature. So here's the big book. Now, I'm not a big Detective Comics guy from the sense that I've gone after them like the Batmans. I pick them up here or there, especially if it's a key. And there are a lot of keys in the Detective Comics. Obviously, Batman's first appearances in Detective Comics, but a lot of the villains and heroes. I mean, Martian Manhunter's first appearances in Detective Comics, for crying out loud. They're all in there. Neil Adams had a good run on Detective, as he did with Batman. So this is Detective Comics 440. The main reason why I got this was because it was already slabbed. It's not a very high grade. Just looking at the book, if I was so inclined to do so, I mean, I feel like it could, seriously get a bump up from what they graded it at. I think they graded it fairly harsh, but, what do you do? This is a CGC 6.5 Detective Comics 440, and it's signed by Joe Giella, who was the inker for a lot of the books back for DC back in the day. He did the first Poison Ivy. I mean, he did a bunch of stuff back in the day. He's an older gentleman. He's in his 80s. He frequents the cons before the Corona. Don't know if he is going to really frequent them now, but what's the odds of me getting a fresh signature from him in his advanced age? So got this older Batman already signed, already slabbed for the price that I got it slabbed. So went ahead and picked that up. from Ben Hunters. So Joe Giella. Um, Archie Goodwin story, Jim Aparo, which done a great Batman, by the way. Dick Giordano, same. Walt Simonson art in on Batman. Telling you, folks, telling you, great stuff. So that is my pickup. What do you think about these pickups? What are you picking up? What are you on the hunt for? What's that one book that you say, I want to snag it as soon as I find it? I know I can find it on the cheap. I'm just waiting for to find it out there in the wild. Let me know in the comments down below. And also, shout out again to the YouTube and Patreon members for supporting the channel, as well as gocollect.com for all of your collecting questions and articles for free. As always, stay safe out there. Until next time, keep reading and keep collecting. Adios.